we're going to take a 2-week break to chill out and put a nice bow on 2019. It's been a great year. Thanks for listening and all the feedback and support. While we're on break, please enjoy these replays of the most popular episodes of 2020 with Dean Wiltzer from Colorado Teardrops and Ross and Rachelle from gear rental service Arrive. You can support the show on our relaunched Patreon page at patreon.com/theoutdoorbizpodcast. And if publishing a podcast is on your action list for 2020, come and learn with me and the Adriatic Academy on an adventure-filled workshop in Croatia. 8 days of classes, adventures, hands-on instruction, field trips, all lodging, and more. There are 2 opportunities to join us in May. Go to ricksays.com/Croatia and get all the details to sign up. I'm excited to be talking to Rachelle Snyder and Ross Richmond from Arrive, fresh off their win of Outdoor Retailer of the Year at OR. We talk about their new gear rental business and the future of gear ownership versus renting. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, good to catch up with you. I'm sorry I missed meeting you guys at OR. Our paths must have crossed a million times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like we felt like we said that to so many folks. There's just so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was OR, you guys must have had a blast, right? Was that your first time there?
Yeah, that was our first time at OR, and we were able to meet a ton of really awesome people. And
right.
Ross met with a lot of our brands, and it was a great time.
Yeah, very
I participated in Camber Outdoors Pitch Fest, and we did the Outdoor Retailer Inspiration Award. So it was a great event.
Right. Yeah, it's super fun. It's now that you're there, you'll have to go 20 years in a row. That's kind of like the average, right?
Yeah.
A lot of long-time folks, and thanks to Jim Thompson for connecting us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's been great.
Now, how did you guys meet him?
We met him, so Arrive won Outdoor Retailer of the Year at the Outdoor Retailer Inspiration Awards, and we met Jim and his wife just after the award ceremony ended and just hit it off, and then he offered to have a call with us and talk with us and connect us with some really great people in the industry, and one of those people were you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He and his wife just have this enthusiasm and energy that's really contagious.
Yeah, they're amazing, aren't they? Yeah, I'm lucky they live up in Bishop. I get to see them once in a while. Yeah.
They
live in Mammoth. Sorry.
Yeah, right. They're not too far from here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how did you guys get exposed to the outdoors? What was your first outdoor adventures, your first camping trip as a kid? How'd that come down?
Yeah, I think for me it was summertime, and most of my family is up in New Hampshire on Lake Winnipesaukee in Vermont and that kind of New England area. And we have all of our family. My mother's the oldest of 8 in a big Catholic family, and we would spend the summers together. And we'd go on to a little island on Lake Winnipesaukee and do a lot of hiking and camping. And that was just kind of a culture that I was born into, I guess.
Very cool. Very fun. So did you go up there like just every summer camping or all the time?
Yeah, exactly. We actually have a little house. It's all kind of like cabin living.
Yeah.
But there's an island called Pitchwood Island, and that's where a lot of the Federspiels, my mother's name, hang out every summer. And we hike across the way, and there's a bunch of islands and hiking trails up there. So we'd spend summers there every summer on the lake.
Wow, very fun.
Yeah, and I grew up in northern Indiana, and ever since I was a baby, my mom would take us camping in Michigan, on Lake Michigan, to Waco Beach. Wow. And so we'd go camping just up from the beach and then spend our days at the beach hiking and going and finding creeks and playing in the water. And it's really fun because now it's come full circle, and in a couple of weeks I'm going camping again with my mom and my sister's 3 little girls.
Wow.
Now we get to take them all camping up at Waco as well.
Very fun. That's cool. So that's still a tradition. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And did you guys work traditional outdoor retail or outdoor manufacturing? How'd you get into the outdoor biz side of things?
Yeah, good question. Neither one of us came traditionally from the outdoor industry, but we've both just always participated in the outdoors. We've grew up camping, hiking, you name it, and we've done it. We've gone backpacking. We're just super outdoorsy and just really enjoy spending time in the outdoors. I think we we decided to get into this business. And when we moved from Boston to Los Angeles, and in that move, we shucked all of our old gear, and the gear was kind of tired and it was just not super great. And when we got to Los Angeles, we realized that we could go hiking and camping and surfing and do a ton of stuff, but we were living in a 600 square foot little bungalow. And there was no way that, one, we could store all of this gear, and two, we didn't want to own all of this gear. So we started looking for a bunch of options, and there really wasn't a good option out there, which led us to start Arrive.
Yeah, and I'd say we approach it much more as consumers than kind of industry veterans. Mm-hmm. Although we love all the folks who have kind of grew up in that space, we really just grew up in kind of coming from the outdoor enthusiast background.
As consumers, yeah. What was the catalyst for moving out west?
So my background, I was actually in education for 10 years. And then my last role was I was working for an ed tech startup based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, that moved us out to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So that was our big impetus for moving out west.
And did you jump right into the Arrive thing, or did it take a while? What did you guys do when you first got here?
I think we were just getting our bearings. The West Coast is much different than the East Coast. So
yep.
it took us a year or so to kind of get our bearings, and then, but it wasn't too long after that we were trying to get outdoors and trying to access a bunch of gear and not having the option to do it. And so we just said, you know what, we'll just do this. Wow. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, I think the seed of the idea happened pretty quickly when we got outside and we wanted to do all these things, and we didn't feel like there was an option to do them without spending a pretty serious amount of money that we didn't necessarily have from the move.
Right.
And yeah, just kind of it festered and started out just saying, like, I wonder if anybody else thinks about this way. And maybe we could throw together a website and see if there's some other people out there, and let's just test the waters. And the feedback was kind of instant and enthusiastic. And we were like, oh yeah, okay, let's do this.
That's awesome. So tell our listeners a little bit about Just Arrive. You guys recently won Outdoor Retailer of the Year, right? That's what at the show.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Very exciting.
Thank you. We were pumped.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah. So tell everybody about Just Arrive. How does it work? What's it all about?
Yeah, so Arrive is an outdoor experience company, and we partner with premium outdoor gear brands and offer their gear for rent on our platform. And so our big model and our big idea is to provide a way for people to easily get outside in a really sustainable way. And so by doing that, we offer gear for rent on our platform that's just going to ensure that people have a really phenomenal time in the outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you go on our site, you select the gear that you need for your trip, and we're here to help as well with that process. And you select the dates you want to go. It arrives about 2 days before the trip, before your dates, right at your door. And then you go out, you get to experience the gear. You feel like a rock star when you get out there, especially if you're going with friends, because your gear is probably some of the best at the whole campsite.
Right.
So your friend might be kind of a veteran, but your tent is like pristine. And
we all know if you're a veteran, your tent is old. You're sleeping. Look at my gear is ancient.
Yeah, and it should be, because you're fixing it and maintaining it.
Yeah, it still works. Exactly.
And so we get you your gear, you go outside, and then when you come back, you slap the included return label on the box, you drop it off at a FedEx or Walgreens, and it'll be shipped right back to our warehouse in Los Angeles.
Man, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, so it's really convenient. The idea is, like, look, if you have a family and you're trying to get your kids out to go camping, oftentimes for our customers, digging out the old tent in the garage, or a young professional where you just don't even have that gear to begin with because you have a 5-story walk up in New York, or you name it, right? Like, for you, the barriers are both mental and like real with the gear. And so what we do is we allow you to focus on just getting the kids in the car, all the things you need, from the diapers to the whatever, and then we'll cover the rest. We'll cover having all that stuff arrive so that you can just put it in your trunk. You know that we have your back. When you get outside, you feel great that you were able to do that without having to deal with any of the hassle that so many people really kind of are prevented from getting outside in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. And so it comes with the instructions and all that, or do you walk them through how to, light the stove without blowing their face off, or how to set the tent up? I mean, you must do a lot of instruction on that, right?
Yeah, we provide instructions with our gear, and most of our gear comes with instructions when we send it. And then we also are always available. We have a great customer service staff that if you have a question about setting anything up, you can always give us a call or even text us or message us on our website, and somebody will be in touch right away.
Very cool. So what's the funniest question you've gotten so far? Or maybe the funniest, someone would send you a FaceTime of, here's the tent, doesn't look right. What do I do? Have you had any cool stories about that yet?
Yes. My all-time favorite question we got was this. It's so hilarious. This woman, who was requesting instructions on how to inflate a self-inflating sleeping mat. And that was my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. You don't know that though, right? Self-inflating, how does that work? Yeah, that's a good question.
Because it says it right on there, but it's just great. We get a lot of people who, look, if you've never lit in a propane stove, you just think fire danger. And
yeah, you think it's going to bomb, it's going to blow up. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. A lot of it is just instilling the confidence with people. Like a picture goes a long way in showing something. And we felt growing up that sometimes the industry can be pretty insular. And, some of the pictures that you see in the outdoor industry are man climbing, face with 30,000 foot drop or whatever.
A lot of hero shots. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And for so many of our customers, it's a chance to detach from their life and kind of reconnect with the people they're with in a social way, get outside, and they're not trying to scale, Half Dome.
Mm-hmm. And, they're probably going to the state park down the street, just camping.
Exactly.
Yeah, most people are within 2 to 3 hours. So it's really about bringing that vibe, which says you got this. Mm-hmm. And if we can make you feel like that, then we feel like we've succeeded.
Yeah. And to that woman, I apologize. I called you out on this podcast.
No, that's all right. I was when I was working at A16 and when I started my career, we got a call one time. Guy wanted to know if we rented backpacking food. And that was one of the we just keep telling that story forever. Rent backpacking food? No, not really.
Yeah. I don't even know.
So, but the question is, though, that's an interesting question. Do you guys do food as well? Can somebody, get some, freeze-dried meals to come along with all their tent and cooking stuff?
Right now, we don't offer food. We don't actually sell anything, which was one of the funny things of winning Outdoor Retailer was that we don't actually sell anything.
Right.
Eventually, and soon, within the next 6 to 9 months, we'll start offering some of those add-ons. And we have a lot of people who reach out to us, a lot of brands and companies who reach out to us who want to add it onto our site.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that in the near future, it'll be an option for you to add on some of your food at checkout.
Yeah, we really customers drive all of that for us. So we want to make it as convenient as possible, and that's really our mission. Mm-hmm. And so if we get enough requests, it doesn't have to be that many, we'll always try something. And so that's definitely something we're going to try. Just because our customers want it, we'll try to make it happen.
All right, cool. So tell us a little bit about how you engage consumers. How do they find you? Do you do a lot of outreach, or they just find you online searching for renting gear? How does that work?
We've been really lucky for the past couple of years. We've been around for 2 years now. And for the first little bit, most people were finding us via, organic search. They're just searching things locally, a lot of word of mouth. We've had a lot of people reach out to us since Outdoor Retailer. And we're excited to now share that we are partnering with Reserve America starting on July 10th, and which is tomorrow. Yeah. And launching a partnership with them as their exclusive gear rental provider. So it will be incredibly easy for people to find us and to find access to gear.
That's awesome. And do you ship gear nationally?
We ship gear anywhere in the contiguous U.S. So, so we're not quite shipping to Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Marshall Islands,
right.
But if you're in the contiguous U.S., then we can get to you.
Yeah, as long as you have an address. So we'll ship to your Airbnb, hotel, to a FedEx location near State National Park.
Oh, cool.
Or right to your door. A lot of people do go on trips right from their home.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing too is that although we don't ship to those locations, we have a ton of people who end up running backpacking gear with us and will travel to those locations or even internationally with our gear.
Oh, interesting. So they ship it at home and then they go on some trip overseas. That's
Yep.
cool. Yeah. Very cool. So who's your ideal customer, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Our customer is the average person. It's somebody, and it's who we know right now across the country. We know that 3 out of 4 Americans prefer to spend their money on experiences over ownership. And that's the vast majority of us.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are getting outdoors. A lot of people want to get outdoors and feel prohibited by not having the right gear. And so our people are those experience spending people who want to focus on the experience rather than the ownership piece. They're the families in the Midwest. It is the urban professional who's working in New York City and Manhattan. It is the extreme backpacker who really likes to get out in Portland, who maybe wants to try out a really cool sleeping pad. There's a plethora of people out there who could all use Arrive.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's, I think, people, like you say, there's I listened to, you guys listen to the Tim Ferriss podcast?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he had Kevin Kelly, I think it was, the guy that started Wired, I think, was on his show. Do you know the story?
Yeah, but go do it. It's good.
The guy that he had this vision where in the future none of us are going to own any of these things. It's all going to be a box, where if we're going to go on a bike ride, we just go online and order our bike and order our bike shoes and whatnot, and it shows up in our box, and we go do our little ride and put it back in the box, and it goes back and gets maintained and cleaned and ready for the next adventure. And you guys are kind of actually delivering on that right now.
Yes, I could not agree with you more.
That's
So,
very
and
cool.
it's not just that that's going to be the future, it has to be the future.
Yeah.
Right? Like with the environment, with climate change and the looming crisis ahead of us, it just can't be possible for 20 people in one neighborhood to all own their own tent, or 20 people in a neighborhood to all own a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Because utilization has to be the key to our future. We have to think about products not in terms of ownership, but in terms of utilization. So how can we make sure that tents are being used or a lawnmower is being used in a way where we can cut down on having to create 20 individual lawnmowers, because several of us can use it at a time in a neighborhood. And there has to be an economy that allows that sharing to happen. So it's not like we all share one lawnmower. That's a nightmare.
Right.
Or we share one tent. It's like if it takes 20 tents for all of us to own our own tent, maybe it only takes 10 to satisfy the utilization that we need throughout the year, depending on our behavior and our patterns in that way.
Yeah, it depends on the activity. Yeah.
Exactly. It absolutely depends on the activity. And what we believe is that there should be someone whose their interest is in maintaining that item. So, or that kind of that economy. So for us, instead of having a system where we all share items and there's kind of a peer-to-peer sharing model, we don't think that really works as well as if you have one person whose economic interest is involved in maintaining the quality of those items. So that's why we think that it really be kind of a steward. It's really a public good that someone is maintaining the interest in that stream or, that landmass or that kind of whatever. It doesn't have to be, obviously we love that the federal government does that on a national level, but there has to be economies created around that, and it's all about utilization.
Yeah.
And any other way just doesn't make sense. We can't consume our way out of the crisis. We can't recycle our way to
Stop using plastic bottles ain't going to cut it, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got to go a little deeper than that. Yeah.
That's really a kind of a foundational core belief that we hold here. And anyway, you nailed it right on the head.
So where do you see future growth for you guys coming from? New products, new channels? Obviously you have other, countries to go to. What's that look like?
Yeah, definitely other countries to go to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, we are always looking for really incredible brands to partner with us. We have brands reaching out all the time and always happy to talk with brands to get on their platform so that they can start offering a sustainable model for their consumers, and to reach that brand new consumer segment where, people who wouldn't previously go out and buy, but now they have access to this brand and this product to get out there. So always talking about new products, always talking about new brands. We're excited to share that we're going to be launching into snow this fall. Ooh. And doing apparel. So think snow pants, jackets, goggles, and working with some really cool brands to launch that later this fall.
Very cool. So what are a couple of accomplishments you're most proud of? Obviously, getting this thing off the ground was huge.
Yeah.
That wasn't nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that wasn't a weekend project.
No, not a weekend project. No, I mean, honestly, I think most recently, I do think that being awarded Outdoor Retailer of the Year was really exciting for us. It was incredible validation from the industry to say, this is the new way that we have to be thinking about the industry. And for us, we know that consumers have been waiting for this. We know that when Forbes came out with that study with 3 out of 4 Americans, that didn't just happen overnight.
Right.
This has been happening for a while, and the industry hadn't stepped up until we started this company. And so when we are here to say, you know what, we're actually going to meet consumer demand, and we're going to help people have a really phenomenal experience in a really sustainable way while still accessing our favorite outdoor brands across the country.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
And then the biggest thing, I think, it's kind of the mini accomplishments when you run a business. It's like the small victories. So when we get I know it sounds cliche, but when
you're right. It's the day to day. I mean, it's the day to day battle that makes the big wins so cool.
It's like those customers that just kind of they've got busy lives, and they still reach out to you and send you an email look, it's hectic in the home, and we barely get enough time to connect as a family. But this past weekend we got out and had a phenomenal time, and you guys were a crucial part of making that happen with the ease and kind of just all of the parts that go into a trip where you get to be a part of someone's really special, memorable moment during the year. Being in kind of the travel outdoor space, it's a pretty special place to be. It's emotional for a lot of folks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we get to be a part of that. So it's those messages and those things we hear from customers, and we don't solicit them, but when they happen, it's high fives all around in the office.
I'll bet.
It's loud, and it's oh damn, we did that.
Right.
We, from the warehouse team to the folks who are picking and packing, the ones who are doing quality control, to our brand, partnership managers, to everywhere up the food chain. It's it feels good to know that all of that we can high five and be we did that.
That's very cool. Do you guys do anything there to kind of foster that culture? How do you run the day-to-day kind of thing? I mean, you must have, meetings and things like that, but is there any other things that you do special or unique that might foster that culture?
Within our team?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to hiring, and it comes down and hiring is hard. There's no getting around finding the right people. It's hard. And for us, we're always looking for people who are just good-hearted people who want to help us build this company and scale it and reach more people. So, it's being real. It's having conversations. It's understanding who they are, where they come from, what their kid's name is. And,
to me, it's it's all about the optimist to me. Yeah. We face some pretty big challenges, and hiring the folks who
can face those challenges.
Yeah, who can face those challenges and say we're going to do better. We're going to continue to do better, and we got this. We're gonna be part of the solutions we're trying to create. When you can get someone who hasn't kind of turned to the dark side, because it's so easy to
the dark side. I love it.
Who are oh, we're all doomed. This is a challenge that insurmountable. It's it's the people who look at the challenge and are
who can see the vision.
Exactly. And who want to be a part of that, because it's so infectious. So we basically have just infectious viral kind of virus team that's just spreading what this idea that we have into kind of whether it's into the boxes and into the orders, or really just kind of like as evangelists of our company. And when they're talking to people about where they work and what have you, they're like, yeah, we work hard and we're trying to build something here.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's a vision and it's a better world.
Yeah. No, evangelist, that's a good term. I mean, we all need evangelists to work with us to help carry on the mission, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
And so you guys also receive support. You're kind of in an incubator type situation, right? Do I have that right? We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, so we're a science portfolio company, and Science is an incubator / venture firm based in Santa Monica. And so we partnered with them earlier this year, and they're also our investor. So they work directly with us to support in whatever way that we need in terms of social media help or acquisition or marketing, whatever it may be. They have a team of experts that's there to kind of help us throughout the day. And Mike Jones, who's the CEO of Science, is on our board, and he's just phenomenal at strategy. And so we work really closely with him as well.
He's real smart. I think I think it's like when we're trying to build a movement, or we're tapping into a movement that's already happening, and we're trying to kind of create this change. Science really has the tools when it comes to e-commerce to help us get that done, which is very exciting. They're some of the best in the business when it comes to e-commerce, and having them take all of their years of knowledge and some of the little hacks that they know, shortcuts and what have you, to help us grow fast.
And also the mistakes.
And the mistakes, yeah.
Right.
Oh gosh, yeah. So they help us. They really help cut down our learning curve when we're trying to grow and build fast and meet the demand that's kind of out there in the market with our model.
Can you talk about some of the other brands that they've helped like that?
Yeah. So Science, I think their most prominent brand is they launched Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Michael Dubin was in Science, and he launched Dollar Shave Club, and then Science was his first investor and helped them get off the ground. Other ones are Dog Vacay, which was, I think, acquired by Rover. Yeah, I'm blanking.
So they have a few. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah, no, cool.
Yeah.
They've done it before. So there's people that you can learn from. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been really helpful.
So let's shift gears a little bit. What outdoor activities do you guys participate in?
We are the dabbler that we want. So we'll get like hard into surfing, and then for 3 months we'll be like in running clubs, and like we'll then just say like, you know what, I'm not doing anything except stand up paddle. So we're kind of like dabbling and extreme enthusiasts. So we really just like to try everything. Yeah, I would say if it's done outdoors, we're not quite into the extreme stuff yet. Like I really want to get into kite surfing, but like I just haven't taken the plunge yet, or maybe some base jumping. But that's in the future. But yeah, I think it's like basically any kind of regular recreation activity. We're trying to do it as much as possible.
Yeah, we do a lot. We have a great group of friends who are also pretty adventurous and love to go camping and backpacking. And so I think like my favorite trips are when we can get all of our friends together and get those like 6 or 8 or 10 people together for a really awesome backpacking trip. A couple of years ago, one of our friends got married in Peru, and 6 of us decided to do the Salcantay Trek, which was like a 60-mile, 5-day trek through the glacier. And that was just so much fun. And those types of trips are like, you just don't forget those. And those are what we try to do at least once a year, if not every other year.
Very cool. Very fun. A little bit of everything. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Definitely grew up playing sports, so we kind of we like to try it at least.
Be active. Yeah, I'm the same way. Do you have any daily routines you use to keep your sanity? Meditate? Obviously, you get a lot of exercise. Walk the dog? Anything like that?
Yeah, that's a great Tim Ferriss question. Yes, and a lot of it was actually inspired by Tim from his podcast. I wake up early and I meditate with the Headspace app, which has been really helpful for me. Mm-hmm. I need guided. I can't have just like
same.
Yeah. I journal, which is basically just like a brain dump, honestly. At the end of the day, I like to kind of do some what went well, what didn't go well, and then another brain dump so I can sleep. And then I mess around a lot with my food intake. So figuring out what gives me the most energy from breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacking, and trying to think what's going to make me most productive so that I can kind of accomplish the things I have to do.
Man, that's a big time Tim Ferriss model.
Yeah.
And hats off to you, Tim. We listen to you and we love you. Thanks for inspiring us. He's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the exact opposite of Rob. My routine, I hit snooze at least 3 times in the morning before I get up. But no, I'm much less intense about my routines, and I always have been. I think my routines kind of come into my workday and like how I structure my workday, and I do a lot of lists. I do a lot of spreadsheets, and I really manage everything through that. And then do any workouts in the evening. That's really like my prime workout time. But I get all of my energy. I'm like a super social person, and I get all of my energy from being around people. So if I can talk to my family, talk to my friends, like that is like my recharge time, is to reconnect with others.
Yeah, that all makes sense. I do a little bit of both of all those things.
Yeah.
How about some favorite books? What are your favorite books or podcasts?
Yeah, podcasts.
How I Built This. I love How I Built This.
Is a really good one. Yeah, that was Guy Raz. He was an inspiration for us as we first started this company, and listening to all the founders and really all the kind of real moments that founders face, and the kind of the fears and the joy, kind of that roller coaster that comes with starting a business. So other podcasts, we do the kind of the wake up in the morning podcasts with the NP up first with, and then New York Times, their morning with the Daily. I come from a public service background, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I come from politics and kind of like both from the campaign side and then the public service side. So some of the podcasts that I do are Pod Save America. That's kind of my political junkie one. Tim Ferriss, and then This American Life, just for a good cry sometimes.
Those are all good ones. Yeah, those are great. Yeah.
My favorite is, have you ever read any Adam Grant?
I don't know.
He is a professor at Wharton, and I love his work. It's really, really good. He wrote a book called The Originals, which I highly recommend. And then his other book, which is one of my top 5 favorite books, is called Give and Take. And it's all about, you'll really start to analyze all the people in your world and thinking about who they are and what type of giver or taker or neutralizer they are. But it essentially starts to think about how we work as a network and how we start to collaborate and the power of that collaboration, and then understanding the people around you and what their characteristics are.
Cool. I'll have to check both of those out. I don't think I've read either one of those. Oh, sounds great. Yeah. We'll link to all that stuff in the show notes too. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to plug one more, like for outdoor folks, for books. One of the books I recommend the most is called The River of Doubt.
Good one.
By Millard, I think. And yeah, Teddy Roosevelt. He's like, definitely has some problematic characteristics to his person, but
don't we all?
Yeah, but just the way, like, he just went into the Amazon, and when I'm digging deep, sometimes I think about just kind of the journey he took down that river. And if you're an outdoor person, like, definitely worth a read. It's kind of that adventure thriller, but real story vibe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
So I have to change this question for you guys a little bit. Typically, it's what's your favorite outdoor gear purchase under $100, but this might need to be what's your favorite outdoor gear rental under $100.
Yeah, absolutely. We do not, we are very much of the idea that if we don't have to buy it and we don't use it every week, then we won't buy it.
I like it.
So definitely living and breathing that utilization model. I think for me, the favorite thing that we offer is the Yeti backpack cooler that we have. It is
the Hopper 24.
The Hopper 24. It is so convenient. I love this thing. It's just like you can take it to the beach, you can take it to the campground, you can take it hiking. That is by far like my favorite thing.
Cool. All right, that's a good one. We'll link to that.
And I always snag it from our team. I'll go into the warehouse and pull one off the shelf.
The shelf will just arrive.
It's reserved again by Rachel. What's going on here?
Fortunately, that's popular, so we have a bunch of them. But there's one missing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I like the hammocks. So we offer Eno as our brand, but there's a lot of good ones out there. And just whether it's kind of lounging at the campsite or lounging outside with a family, with a barbecue, or sleeping, getting off the ground and trying that out, if folks haven't done that, is a real pleasure to like zip up the mosquito nest and you're just suspended and try doing a night sleep that way. I'm sure a lot of people have, but
right.
It's nice to switch it up and try different things. So,
and what brand did you mention there? Sorry.
We do Eno. So we have
okay.
The nest, the single, double, and then the jungle nest hammocks.
Yep, cool. We'll link to all that in the show notes too, yeah. As we wrap up here, is there anything else you'd like to ask of our listeners or say to our listeners?
Reach out to us if you're interested in what we're doing, or you also kind of have this feeling where, you're flipping through the pages of Outside Magazine and there's all this stuff to buy and you're kind of like, but what about just getting outside? Mm-hmm. If that's something that you've done or experienced, we love to hear from you. There's a real community out there that we've discovered and have discovered us, and it's we wouldn't exist without that community, and we love hearing from folks. And obviously, we're always looking for folks to join our team too. So,
cool.
Reach on out and say, "Hey, we love to hear from you."
So, how can people find you? What's obviously the website?
Yep, they can find us at arriveoutdoors.com. It's ARRIVEOUTDOORS.com. They can also email us at hello@arriveoutdoors.com, and we can reach out there.
Cool. We'll link to that. We'll link to all your socials in the show notes so they can reach out and ask you questions about all the cool stuff you do. Well, it's been great catching up with you, Rachelle and Ross.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rick.
I got to come down and see your place in LA sometime. See what's going on. Yeah, it seems like I drive through there a lot. I don't stop there much anymore, but I'll make a point to do that. And if you guys ever get up here to the east side, come on up. We'll go hiking or something.
That sounds great.
Great. Yeah, come by, grab a hammock or a cooler or whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly. Will do. All right, awesome. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, Rick.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. If you want more of the Outdoor Biz Podcast, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to go to the OutdoorBizPodcast.com where you find all the episodes, show notes, and much, much more. Until next time, be sure to make time to get outside.